Hey folks, I'm David McKnight, best-selling author of The Power is Here, and today we're talking about a $63 trillion tax bomb that could destroy your retirement if you're not prepared. That's right, the U.S. national debt is on track to hit $63 trillion by the year 2035. In this video, I'll explain what that means for your money, why you should complete your Roth conversions by that deadline, and why so-called permanent tax cuts aren't going to save you when the bill finally comes due. Let's start with the math. We are now officially headed towards $63 trillion of national debt by 2035. That's $2 trillion per year for the next 10 years, plus an additional $5 trillion due to the extension of the Trump tax cuts. And all this new debt, it isn't being used to shore up the $200 trillion hole in Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. It's being spent on day-to-day operations, while our long-term obligations continue to balloon in the background. Make no mistake, this debt is not sustainable. It's a time bomb that will lead to a tax bomb, and it's set to explode around 2035 when our interest payments, entitlement programs, and economic pressures collide all at once. Now, you may have heard the news. Former President Trump's tax cuts have officially been made permanent. Sounds like a win, right? Well, don't be fooled. There's no such thing as a permanent tax cut.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Not in a country that's hemorrhaging money. The IRS tax code, by definition, is written in pencil. The tax code may say permanent, but when we hit $63 trillion of debt and the world starts doubting our ability to pay it back, Congress will have no choice but to raise taxes dramatically, broadly, and quickly. So here's the takeaway. 2035 is your Roth conversion deadline. Why? Because that's when the tax freight train finally arrives. Former Comptroller General of the U.S. government, David Walker, says that if we don't change course soon, taxes could double across the board just to keep our country solvent. Now, I'm not just talking about the wealthy. I'm talking about everyday Americans, middle-income earners, retirees, small business owners. If you're still saving in tax-deferred vehicles like 401ks and IRAs by 2035, you're setting yourself up for a tax tsunami when you retire. But the good news is you still have time to gradually shift that money into tax-free accounts, and you can do it while tax rates are still historically low. So where are tax rates headed after 2035? Up, way up. If your current effective tax rate is 20%, expected to be 40% or more. If you're at 30%, you could be paying 60% in combined federal and state taxes. And here's why. Even if we confiscated 100% of the wealth from every billionaire in America, it would only run the federal government for 9 months. That means the tax base will have to broaden and the middle class will fall squarely under the scope of the IRS. If you don't have a plan in place by 2035, you may end up losing a third to half of your retirement to taxes. So what's the solution? You need to take advantage of every legal, ethical, and IRS-approved strategy to reposition your retirement savings to tax-free. You want a strategy that takes advantage of every nook and cranny in the IRS tax code. You want multiple streams of tax-free income, none of which show up on the IRS's radar, but all of which contribute to you being in the 0% tax bracket. Here are the tools you should be using right now. Roth IRAs, tax-free growth, tax-free distributions, no RMDs. Roth 401ks, higher contribution limits, no income phase-outs, and a company match. Roth conversions, no limit on how much you convert. This should be your workhorse in getting yourself to the 0% tax bracket. Standard deduction strategy. Take IRA distributions each year up to the standard deduction, tax-free. Life insurance retirement plans, or LIRPs. It's safe and productive growth, helps it serve as a volatility buffer in retirement. As a bonus, you can use the death benefit in advance of your death for the purpose of paying for long-term care. Tax-free Social Security. If you keep your provisional income low enough, your Social Security can be 100% tax-free. Each of these strategies chips away at your future tax liability, and collectively they help you arrive at the most powerful place in retirement, the 0% tax bracket. And why is the 0% tax bracket so powerful? Because even if tax rates double, 2 times 0 is still 0. Now let's be honest, there's a cost to waiting. The longer you delay, the more likely you are to do Roth conversions at higher tax rates or miss the window entirely. Roth conversions work best when done strategically and gradually. You want to shift your tax-deferred dollars to tax-free slowly enough that you don't rise into a tax bracket that gives you heartburn, but quickly enough that you get all the heavy lifting done before 2035. And don't forget, even with permanent tax cuts, tax rates are still on sale, but the sale won't last forever. So let me ask you, What are you doing right now to get your money into the tax-free bucket before the $63 trillion time bomb explodes? If you need help creating a balanced, comprehensive approach to tax-free retirement, head on over to davemcknight.com and click on the Connect with an Advisor button. I'm happy to refer you to an advisor in the Power Zero network that has been trained, vetted, and qualified personally by me. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another one. This is David McKnight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.